Hey, what's up? It's DJ. Today we're taking an early look at the Moss Valley map from VR Modding. This map is based in Sheffield, which is in the United Kingdom, so it's a UK map. It's also a DEM map, meaning it's based off of a real-life location, so you actually feel like you're there. Here's your PDA right here, and as you can see, it kind of blurs the line between where the edge of the map is and where it isn't. And if you take a look at this, obviously you can see where the dark gray areas are around in the square. That is your playable area. It looks like you've got 106 different purchasable farmlands, which is great news. In new farmer mode, we start right here smack dab in the middle with two absolutely massive fields, 33 and 34, and farmland 86 is going to be your farm with a lot of stuff on it. Your house is going to be right over here on the left-hand side, and we have two AIs on here. So AIs? I don't know, peeps. You got Walter right there to cross the road on your farm. You've got Ben, which is pretty cool. You've also got a few things hanging around. You've got a liquid fertilizer silo up there. You've got your medium petrol tank there. Of course, the farmland in general. We have a few silo systems. There's a silo there, and up here we have another silo. We do have a farm shop on the farm itself, and then you've got chicken coop, cow pen, pig pen, another chicken coop, and another pig pen. It's a pretty epic setup for a farm, and if you're like me and you really enjoy things like this, I love UK maps and UK style maps. I think maybe it's just because it's a little bit different than the USA stuff. Sometimes USA maps can be a little bit boring. What's up, Ben? Then it's something like this I find a little bit more enjoyable when it comes to playing and getting around the farmland and things like that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and right here's the two pig pens and chicken coop. One of the other nice things is you've got some windmills in base game as well for starting farms. So if you wanted to go in and take a look at those, you can easily do that. 50,000 for the little one and 100,000 for the big one. So if you needed to sell those off to fund some more things, well, you can. One of the things I want to commend VR Modding for is adding the ability to buy every single inch of everything. As you can see, everything is completely covered. There is a road system that you could purchase as well if you want to. So that's going to be $22,000, fairly cheap. And everything that's kind of in dark gray here, that is what's going to be included with Farmland number 1, which is pretty darn cool. Let's see if we can get out of there. There we go. You can see it once more. Now, once we activate all that and own everything, we can see the multiple different places around the map where we can bring things like Garden Center, the Moss Valley Grain Merchant, Debris Crusher, and things like that. Of course, we also saw these silos around our main farm. And there's things all around too. Down the way here, we've got the Ridgeway Goods Sell Point right here. You've also got gear, I don't know how to say that word. Gearline Bales, I guess is how you say it. And then even all the way up the very tip top, you've got the grain elevator. As for production change, there's quite a few around here as well. On the far left, we have the BGA. Right across the road, you have the Moss Valley Bakery. And on the other side of the map, way over here, we've got the grain mill. Beside that, you get the dairy. There are two of them. Here's one. That's a sawmill. If we load up animals, we've got plenty of those as well. Of course, we've already talked about the ones over by the main farm, but just right up the road at another farm, we have more cows there. At the top of the map up here, we've got I believe a horse pen, is that correct? Yeah, a horse barn. Down near the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we've got a bunch of bees as well as sheep, and we have every NPC that is in the base game. There's some pretty cool stuff around too. Down here we've got a tennis court. There's also an area with a swimming pool. At the top of the map near the grain elevator, you've also got a placeable area. Now it's not quite flat, so you will have to do a little bit of work, but we've also got these little machines around. I believe these are Lieber or something like that. Either way, they're placeable, but on a few of the farms, you'll see these just hanging out. They look pretty cool. And if you don't want them, don't worry about it. You could sell them. One of the things I really love are just the expansive, large fields that we get in new farmer mode. One of the other things, too, is nice is you could plow them together if you wanted to. Well, if you don't want this pathway right here, anyway. You could easily do that. They work with a worker, which is great. I've already tried to use them with GPS and worker. Did it absolutely perfect. I have nothing but good things to say. I also mentioned there's a second farm, so if we go up the road just a hair, this is going to be our second farm. Again, things that you can delete, like your excavator there, and things like that. You can truly make it your own. And I do mean that. Pretty much everything on here can be sold. Every little thing, everything hanging out, all the buildings, all the silos, even the animals can be sold. If you don't want them, you don't have to have them, which is really nice. Real quick, I want to take a look at the animal pens and just show you how much they will hold. There are missing triggers on the pig pens, but he's working on those, so don't worry about that. The first one's going to hold 70 pigs. We come over here to the chickens. We get 250 head there. Another pig pasture here, 70 in that one. Then down here, we'll have to run around it a little bit. Here we go. Whee! We've got the cattle pen, which holds 200. I'm very happy about that. And another chicken pasture, which holds 550. If we visit the cow pasture that's just up the road from our main farm, over here holds 60 head of cows, so nothing too wild and crazy there. As far as the horse pasture goes, 16, no surprise there. We do have 3 beehives on here, so again, nothing too wild and crazy there. You could add more if you would like. And down here around these buildings, we have where the honey goes. And the sheep pasture is pretty darn cool. So if we come up through here, we've got the place where all of the wool will spawn. Then we go up this little pathway here, and we have the sheep. 200 head of sheep in here, and that's where your food goes. There's also a handful of collectibles that are old hand tools. So if we come over here, we can collect that. And they say, congratulations, you found your first collectible. There are 9 more tools to find, and they are hidden all around the map and worth quite a bit of money. As you saw that, we found a chisel, and it was $100,000. So you're going to be getting $1 million for finding all of them. But I'm not going to show you where they are. Not just yet, anyway. One of the coolest areas on the map, I think, is the store. It is a JCB New Holland, the Moss Valley Tractors store. How neat is that? Around towards the outside, we do have tractors, and yes, they do have collisions. You've got stuff set aside for seeders, and you've got a whole line here of New Holland tractors. Love that. A bunch of T6s there. Over here, we've got some Pottinger mowers. We've got some Grimmy planters. We've got another New Holland there. Limken plow there. Another Pottinger there. And then we've got a whole area out front where you can work on the vehicles. That's really nice. And we have automatic doors. See if we can back away. We'll just walk up like normal. Da-da-da. Don't did it. Boop. And it opens for you. How neat is that? And then you come in here and do what you need to do. It's so cool. You've got NPCs just hanging out. What's up, dude? Nope, I don't need a loan. We're good. Looks like the Mafia's on the map. Nonetheless, that is super duper cool. We've also got our garden center just right above that. Now, in here, there's only one sell point. However, he's going to great lengths to add all of these areas in here. Again, with automatic doors. They didn't need that, but they have them. So you can do, role play or something like that. It's just really neat. And of course, we've got all of our setups here for your sell points and things like that. This right here is your sell point for this. You got something a little hanging out down there, but nothing too wild and crazy. Love it. And naturally, because we've got Skoda in the game, we also have some parked cars that are actually branded, which is very nice. That thing looks familiar. Before we head over and do a full walkthrough of the main farm, I do want to show you the second farm, Hazelhurst Farm. Again, this is just right up the road from our main farm, so you can have both if you wanted to and be just fine. If we come in, we've got a little bit of rubbish here hanging out. We've got a few barns here, the one to our right. If we run around, we can also open up. So that makes things pretty nice. You could park a few things in. This is more of a... well, I was saying not a newer style barn setup or anything like that, but I kind of dig this. I like this. Around where my grandparents live and where I grew up on their farm, kind of, nothing was new. Everything was just kind of a building with a couple doors that you opened and closed. And though those open up automatically, well, we had to do that ourselves. Let's cut on our window here. And see what we've got. So... we could come over here, open up our dialogue. As we mentioned, 60 head of cattle. We can also see at the bottom right-hand corner, 60,000 liters of food, 21,375 liters of straw. They also have meadow grass as well, so that is very nice. And I think that's out towards here. No, that's a field. 56. Yeah. Although the cows are still going to be roaming around a little bit. If we make our way back around again, we've got another large shed here, and we'll head back into the middle of the farmyard. Yeah. Now, over to our right-hand side, we've got some more areas with quite a few spots to put things. We've got our excavator over here yet again, which we could sell if we don't want to, just like every other building on this farm. Again, as I mentioned, you can put things wherever you want. You'll be good to go. Also, can we sell that thing? Farm clutter. Yeah, there you go. You could sell all the farm clutter. That makes things kind of nice, doesn't it? Even more buildings down here. Boom. This is actually a silo. So we've got an indoor covered silo, place for fuel, and I think that is about it. So there you go. There is your farm. And right across the road, we also have a few little spots there. But in order to get that, well, it comes with it. I was going to say, in order to get that, you have to buy the farm across the street, but you don't. It comes with it. Very cool. So then we make our way down to our farm. And actually, I want to start right here with Grandpa, because whenever you start your game, that is what you will see. This is where you load in for the first time. So you can sleep there, and that is about it. No working doors on there or anything like that. There is a trampoline, so if you're like me and you need to keep up your jumpy physique, you could do that. There's also access to a field back here, as far as I can tell, one of the largest, if not the largest field on the map, and pricing shows that too, $935,000. But it is right here, right behind your front door. So if you wanted to buy it, you could do that. Now, let's walk across the street. Over here, we've got David. What's happening, Home Slice? How you doing, big dude? And then we've got a couple buildings. Now, some of these are decorative. Actually, quite a few of them are decorative, and some of them actually work, like this one. I'm not going to make you get lost going through there, but I'll show you where that opens up to. Here we have, on the left-hand side, a couple tractors. We do start off with a New Holland T7, as well as a Massey Ferguson, but haven't really talked about that because some people may not be starting a new farmer. So we'll talk about that last, but you can get an idea of what is where. Now, right here, if we spin around, we've got another area. We do have a Merlot with some tools, which is very nice. And if we open up this door right here, this is what takes us back around to the front. And then we have one more door here, which can open up, and this opens up right down to the street level. So there's that to give you an idea of where we were. There's our main house. We walk across the street. There's our tractors, and that was right through here. Now, if we keep going down through here, this just takes us back out to the street level. So nothing too wild and crazy there. Let's go back up to where the tractors are, right up here. Nope, that's not it. Right here. And from here, we can go left, and that's going to take us up into one of our other fields, one of the two, the higher level. We've got a silo there. And right here, we open this up, we get a big surprise. A Kloss. Now, it starts with a 450 Evian. I said this is going to be the best starting combine for maps like this, and I'm so happy to see that they have used it. That makes me super happy. It's also in the middle of a trigger. So if you guys need to work on anything, this is where you're going to bring it, which is very nice. We also can see we've got lights in here. If you need to turn them on, good to go. And they are very bright. Around towards the back of that, if we walk here, we've got 4 bays to park stuff, including our header with our header trailer. If we take our left here, this is where we've got our pins. Now, all of these can be entered, which is super duper cool. Come down through there, and there you go. In this pig pen, we have food is 20,000, slurries 128,250, and straw is 450,000. Of course, you've got everything around where you get stuff from. Same thing with chickens. Open that up. You can see the inside of the chicken coop, and this pig pen is the same. Looking to the right here, we have a silo system, and we actually have our tipper trailer in the middle of our silo. So you'll have to get that out, but I do like that they've parked it there, just so you know what is where. Speaking of chickens, here's another chicken coop, which goes around towards the front. We'll show you that. Actually, let's go there now. Tractors were up there, telehandlers right there, and this is the other pathway right here. This is where you're going to get things out of your silo, and right here, we've got, yay, an opening up for the chicken silo, which is very neat. And right here is where you get our chickens. Remember that door I opened? There's the other side of it. Here's our cow pen. If we come around, the door trigger's kind of out just a little bit. The animal trigger's kind of in the middle of that, but this is where you have 200, so we've actually got a really good number of cattle that we can take care of. I love that immensely. So much. And then up here, take a look at that, and you can see kind of how the cows walk around and that type of thing. Pretty cool, huh? There's also collectibles on this farm, but I'm not going to show you where they are. We'll have to wait till the map is out to do that. Around towards the side here is where you're going to be dumping everything. 60,000 liters for food, 21,375 for straw, and 56,250 for slurry. So not as much slurry here as it is on the other farm. And also, we've got plenty of places through here where all of your equipment can go. And not only that, but if we go down to the bottom, we've got even more equipment down through here. So this gives you a really good way. Plus, it's nice because one of your other fields is right here. So we are here now at the south end of our farm. We have shown off everything all the way around, including the petrol tank. And then you have your 2 fields there. Now, in new farmer mode anyway, you can expect about 150,000 liters out of the wheat field. It is 27.32 acres, 4.28 tons per acre. Goodness, I almost said hectare. And it is 28.15 acres land area. So there's that. It's also 52% done. You can't do anything else to it, so you're just kind of stuck with that. Now, if we head over here, we've got another field, the oat field. Also 52% yield bonus on that, and you can expect about 51,461 liters off of this field. My assumption is there will be quite a few people that will get rid of these pieces of equipment here and plow in these areas. Although that may be easier for running workers. I mean, you are going to get an extra, what is that, $150,000 for those? Also assume some people may be deleting this grain bin here as well. I wouldn't be using it. I'd be using this in a heartbeat, just the silo system itself. So there's that. Now, speaking of silos, I want to talk about how much they will hold. So our big flat bottom bin, the 3608, this has a capacity of 980,000 liters. Almost 1 million liters off of that one thing there. If we come over here, we've got 800,000 liters for the Moss Valley silo through there. And if we check out our system right here, 40,000 liters of liquid fertilizer in there. Then you have an outhouse. Always got to have one of those. If we come around towards the very top, we have another silo system up here. So this is going to be another covered up outdoor chaff silo so that you guys can make some silage there. And as far as I can see and tell and all that good stuff, the was that Pulvey Farm? That is your farm tour of this area right through here. There's a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, and you've got a tank there for diesel too, if you need it. Ooh, about hit that. But otherwise, I don't think there's any other doors or anything that you can open. Now, if we come down here to Farmland 88, this is one of your other farms, although I'm not quite sure I would compare this to a farm. This would be more of a, just this is where your animals are. As we mentioned, this is where your sheep are, and you can come in here and buy the sheep. If we go over here and open that up, this will open, and you can feed them. 200 animals in here, 46,000 liters of food, and 18,000 liters of water. Although, well, there you go. There's where the water, I was about to say, I don't know where the water is. I never looked left. If we walk all the way down here, I showed you earlier in the video, this is where your wool is going to go. And then the pathway down through here brings us here, which is kind of some newer stuff. As you see, we've got some really small and then opening up to a little bit larger openings so you can store items. We've also got a place here that might be good for a combine harvester or multiple tools, and there's a way out to the road from there. But not only that, we kind of have two of these side by side. So if you needed extra space or extra room, you've got it. Plus areas around towards the side. So you've got all of that. If I select this, there you go. It encompasses all of that. I would imagine people that are going to be buying 88 may also buy 72 because, I mean, it's right here. Plant grass in it and then just use that to feed your sheep, which are next door. there you go. Very cool. And as far as I can tell, the only other farm that I've been able to find, not saying there isn't one, it's just I haven't found them. This is our horse farm. Now we come into it from, well, like one of two different ways. If we open up, you can see you've got a way in here, or you can kind of sneak in over here. So let's show you the primary way, and that's going to be from here on this. You have the Lightwood Stables. If we come in through here, of course, we've got a place to buy fuel. We have a 4-bay garage there. And then we have another 3-bay here and another smaller 4-bay there. Our horse pasture is going to be right here in front of us. And in here, we have 11,500 liters of food and 3,200 liters of straw for 16 horses. It's also a really nice riding area in here too. So that's pretty cool. And as I was mentioning, there are 2 ways to get in. This is the second entrance, although it doesn't really do much for you. So there's that. You may have to jump in and kind of run around a little bit. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot more going on. We do have some bigger barns if you need a bigger barn. Of course, out here we've got some cars parked. I love the dedication to detail there. And if we open this up, we're going to see one of the largest barns that I've ever seen. Goodness gracious. For a horse pasture, a horse area, this is insanely large. I can imagine a lot of people utilizing this map for roleplay or even just a long-term let's play, something like that, because there's so many areas, so many places to go. I love maps like this personally. Something like this is just right up my alley. And if we swing on down, of course, we have the BGA here. This is going to be right off from farm number 2. If we come up through here, you see on the right, we have our stone crusher, and then right here, Moss Valley Grain Merchant. Now, not going to be doing a whole lot with grain in here, although if we click this, we do have a sell point there. We've got a place here where you can weigh and then come around, turn around, and dump it to Crumpet. Right here it is, humongous outdoor chaff silo. Over here, we've got places for collecting slurry. Around over here, you've got your production chain for that. I know you saw lease there. Just kind of ignore that. I have a mod installed that allows me to lease production chains if I want them. So that's not an all-platform or a map-specific thing. That is a mod. It's available on PC on the Modhub if you wanted to pick it up. And if we come around here, I don't think there's any way we can open these doors, no, but it does look pretty cool. Again, gives it that just a little more added realism bit to it, a little bit more roleplay, just enjoyable overall. This is a map that I bet I could enjoy myself playing in first person a whole lot more than playing in third person. Quick showcase of a few more sell points. So down here we have Ridgeway Goods. If we come in here, you're going to drive straight through, unload, and then continue driving out. Really easy to get in and out of this place. You could use a smaller semi-truck or any type of tractor, and tipper is going to be perfect for this. If we go down the road from there, right in front of where our sheep pasture is, we get here, Gear Lane Bells. And right here, just off to the side, of course, we have a bell sell point for that. Another nice thing is we have some sheds here that anyone can use. There's no doors on these, so anybody can use these. If you need to drop something off, you can. And also, because we have bees, now granted, I think you have to buy Farmland 71. Yeah, you have to buy Farmland 71, but you do get honey. You get the bees, which is kind of cool. You can also sell the farmland too. Even though it has placeables on there, I think they are bought with farmland attribute, which is one of the most game-changing attributes that's ever been added to the game. And for some reason, the base game things don't have that, which I find extremely annoying. Nonetheless, also, this would be a really cool place to hide something. But there's no collectibles in there. Logging's also a pretty popular thing on the map, although logging areas are fairly cheap. Also, I do want to mention, at the beginning of the video, for some reason, it was showing up, if I click this, Robinson Dairy, it was also showing that as Robinson Dairy, but if you click on it, it shows the correct thing, MV Sawmill. So, whatever. Don't listen to me. Do what the map tells you to do, but you can come over here, you can buy the sawmill, do what you need to do through there. This is pretty basic. I think this is a base model or something like that, but you've got your area over here for that, and we do have a couple shelves there as well, plus a worker there for helping us out. Now, if we go into farmlands that we could purchase, at least around the sawmill, there's really nothing. There's there's really no areas for logging around the sawmill. However, if we go up north just a little bit to 103, was that 103? Yeah, 103, we do have some logging in here. Maybe not too much. You may be kind of stretching it a little bit. You may have to cut some of these into smaller pieces, but you do have that there. Also, over towards the center of the map, we have a lot more going on. You're going to be making a ton of money off of this stuff. If we go over here to 95 and just kind of visit this, it is densely foliated. Foliated? I don't think that was the right word. But we do have some very dense foliage in here. Some of the logging is good. Some of it is smaller bushes and things like that you'll have to plow under if you want to turn any of this into field work. Now, I'm sure you could turn these into fields, but I'm not sure that I would. The area in that down in there is a bit of a valley, so it could be a little bit difficult to turn that into fields. Not saying you couldn't, just saying I probably wouldn't. With that, I also want to read out the mod description for you guys, in case you're still here. This has been a very long video. So they say, welcome to Moss Valley. With this DEM map, you'll be able to tackle the challenges of running a farm in the heart of Sheffield. With accurate farms and fields, you'll be able to really get immersed in the experience, almost like you're running it, really running it. There are multiple businesses that you can take all of your products to, from grains to wood and everything in between. With built-in productions like dairy and bakery, you're going to be able to not just sell the bulk crops, but also process them and more. So that is pretty cool. Demand on the forestry areas is low, so you can get them at a fair price and sell the wood at the local sawmill. There's not only cows, sheep, chickens, and pigs. You can also buy a small family-run horse farm located at the northwest end of the map. You may also run into some hand tools that are not just decorative. If you find all of them, you'll get a really nice reward for them. If you want to expand your farm with productions and don't want to waste expensive fields, you could buy a placeable area either near the bakery at BGA or on the other side of the map near Cater Hall Grain Elevator. They hope we enjoy the map. And lastly, of course, we have UK-style license plates. So you've got two to choose from there. Whichever one you want, you're good to go. Lastly, I said that we would talk about the things we get in new farmer mode. This has to be done a little bit different now because of the way that Farming Simulator 25 is, which I absolutely hate. But nonetheless, we do have an Agromass plow. If we go down, we have an Amazon fertilizer spreader, Benar Omega seeder, Class Evian 450 combine harvester with the header to match. We get the Flegel ASW 271 tipper and a John Deere C441R baler. As far as other equipment goes, we do have a Krone tedder, we have a Limken cultivator, a Magsy Bell fork, as well as the pallet fork and universal bucket for telehandlers. Speaking of, we do have a Merlot multi-farmer 449 telehandler, Massey Ferguson 7S, Nardi N20T header trailer, New Holland T7 260, so you got some room to grow there. Smaz KDF front mower, Smaz XT rear butterfly single mower, Smaz windrow, and that is it. And you guys are good to go as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and a big shout out to VR Modding for sending over their map Moss Valley to take a look at before its release on Modhub. This has been a lot of fun, and I tried to do this map preview much different than I have in the past, especially with like new mod videos and things like that. I really tried to go into detail. I tried to show you literally everything. That way there's no questions. It was a long video, but nonetheless, thank you for hanging out with me. If you guys want to check out VR Modding, leave a link down below so you can see some of the other stuff that they've been up to. And otherwise, just have an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next one.